an investigation of Crabtree.biz, domain history, thematic analysis, and authorial profile. Part 1, the Crabtree.biz domain, a forensic history and identity analysis. Introduction, the core contradiction of Crabtree.biz. The domain Crabtree.biz presents an immediate and profound contradiction. A query directed at this domain uncovers two completely disparate, conflicting digital ecosystems. On one hand, the live website at Crabtree.biz is a blog titled The Chronically Online Algorithm. Its content is a dense, high-velocity stream of esoteric, philosophical, and countercultural topics, including cosmic horror, artificial intelligence, Gnosticism, and conspiracy theories. The identified author is an individual named Michael Crabtree. On the other hand, a significant volume of public data and discussion online associates the Crabtree name in a business context, specifically a biz domain, with a multi-million-dollar life and business coaching enterprise run by Corinne Crabtree. Further searches also connect the name to other business professionals, including finance author Greg Crabtree and consultant Megan Crabtree. This disconnect suggests the user's query is likely based on an outdated association of the domain with a prior owner. The domain appears to have undergone a digital rewilding, lapsing from a high-value commercial asset into a deeply personal, non-commercial project. Therefore, the first objective of this report, following the directive to utilize historical web data Wayback Machine, is to conduct a forensic analysis of the domain's history to resolve this domain mystery. Only after establishing the domain's complex identity can a proper analysis of its current content and author be performed. Be a domain of multiple identities, resolving the Crabtree ambiguity. The investigation into the Crabtree.biz domain reveals a history, or at least a powerful association, tied to a prominent commercial coaching business. This history stands in stark contrast to its current iteration. The coaching era hypothesized. The biz top-level domain TLD is intended for business use. An extensive body of evidence points to a strong association between the Crabtree name and a specific business entity, the biz membership of life and business coach, Corinne Crabtree. Direct naming. Multiple Reddit discussions in the R-Leaf Coach Snark forum are explicitly titled Corinne Crabtree Biz Membership. These threads discuss her no BS biz membership Zoom calls. The linguistic link between Crabtree and a biz membership strongly implies that the Crabtree.biz domain was, at one time, the logical digital home for this enterprise. Commercial scale. This was not a minor operation. Corinne Crabtree is described as an 8-figure business owner and the founder of a $14 million membership for her No BS weight loss program. The biz membership was a separate, high-cost offering, priced at $299/month. Contextual clues. The existence of the R-Leaf Coach Snark community, a forum to snark on the unregulated and frequently outrageous booming life coaching community, provides a motive for the user's query. This community critically discusses the high prices and ethics of the LCS Life Coach School bubble. The imperative, all caps nature of the user query, dive deep, analyze, is highly consistent with the critical, investigative tone of this snark community. It is therefore highly probable that the user's query is an artifact of this coaching era. The query is likely from a researcher, competitor, or dissatisfied customer from this community, investigating what became of a significant and controversial business asset. The financial and consulting Crabtrees. To ensure a thorough investigation, other Crabtree business entities were also analyzed. Greg Crabtree, a successful CPA, entrepreneur, and author of Simple Numbers, Straight Talk, Big Profits. He is a frequent speaker and partner at an accounting firm. However, his established web presence is strong, with dedicated domains like simplenumberscree.com and gregcrabtree.net. He is an unlikely owner of the biz domain. Megan Crabtree, the principal of Crabtree Consulting, a boutique firm specializing in the jewelry industry. This is a niche, B2B firm and is unlikely to be the subject of the user's query. The digital rewilding, the current era. The analysis concludes that the domain Crabtree.biz has most likely lapsed from its former commercial association or was never owned by Corinne, but was the subject of speculation and has been acquired by a new, unrelated, or tangentially related individual. The current owner is identified on the site as Michael Crabtree. The content has been completely replaced. The transition from a hypothesized high-dollar, no BS business membership to an esoteric chronically online algorithm represents a radical shift in identity, purpose, and value. The asset has been rewilded for a purely personal, non-commercial, and deeply philosophical project. See Identity Triangulation, the Michael Crabtree Paradox. The central paradox of the domain's current state is the author's name. The acquisition of a lapsed domain by a new owner is common. The acquisition of the Crabtree.biz domain by an individual also named Crabtree is a statistical anomaly that demands investigation. This shared name suggests several possibilities. Asterisk coincidence. It is a complete and total coincidence. Asterisk pseudonym. The new author is anonymous and has chosen the name Michael Crabtree as a deliberate pseudonym to create a digital ghost or to capitalize on the domain's existing SEO traffic from its previous associations. Asterisk relation. The author is a non-public relative of one of the other Crabtree business figures, for example, of Corinne or Greg, who took over the lapsed domain for a personal project. The author's elusiveness prevents a definitive conclusion. The About Me links on the blog point to a blogger profile that is now inaccessible. Similarly, a link to the author's Scribd profile is also inaccessible. This deliberate or accidental anonymity, combined with the name, adds to the site's mystique. To prevent confusion and to properly scope the remainder of the analysis, it is essential to formally disambiguate the blog's author from other public figures named Michael Crabtree, identified during the investigation. Table 1.1. Crabtree Identity Disambiguation. Pipe name / entity pipe identified role / profession pipe key domain / affiliations pipe connection to Crabtree.biz pipe supporting sources pipe pipe dash 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 pipe. Pipe Corinne Crabtree Pipe Life and Business Coach No BS Pipe Knobs.ceo R-Leaf Coach Snark Pipe Hypothesized Prior Owner Biz Membership Pipe Greg Crabtree Pipe CPA Author Simple Numbers Pipe SimpleNumberscree.com GregCrabtree.net Pipe None Identified Unrelated Business Figure Pipe Michael Crabtree Ph.D. Pipe Professor of Psychology Trauma Military Pipe Washington and Jefferson College Pipe None Identified Unrelated Academic Pipe Michael Crabtree Pipe Former NFL Player Football Pipe Crab 5 Foundation Raiders Pipe None Identified Unrelated Public Figure Pipe Michael Crabtree Blogger Pipe Blog Author The Chronically Online Algorithm Pipe Crabtree.biz Live Site Scribe Blogger Pipe Current Owner / Author Subject of this report Pipe The academic profile of Michael Crabtree, Ph.D., is particularly noteworthy. He is a professor of psychology with a 48-year career, specializing in stress, trauma, addiction, and military psychology. He is the author of 5 books and over 30 professional publications. His profile shows zero thematic overlap with the esoteric, conspiratorial, or cosmic horror content of the Crabtree.biz blog. With the domain's history clarified and the author's identity isolated, the analysis can now proceed to the current content of the Chronically Online Algorithm. Part 2. Deep Analysis, the Chronically Online Algorithm, the current site. Aesthetic as intent, the fire hose of consciousness. The form of the Chronically Online Algorithm is indivisible from its function. The blog's design and structure are a deliberate, performative expression of its author's worldview. Design and formatting. The aesthetic is a literal interpretation of its Chronically Online title. Header, the blog's header, the Chronically Online Algorithm, immediately frames the content. The author is not presenting as a human blogger, but as a disembodied algorithm, a cosmonaut or alien consciousness dispatching data from the digital void. Stylized text. Digital stylism. The navigation and links are not standard. They are rendered in a complex, difficult to read mix of Unicode, emojis, and stylized characters. For example, Lee Wendell Dragonpedia 1-11 LLL Yin Yang, Music. Churn. This is not amateurish design. It is a specific subcultural algo-speak or leet-speak. This stylized text functions as an esoteric filter. It creates an in-group aesthetic, immediately signaling to the initiated that this is a space for hidden knowledge, while simultaneously filtering out casual, uncommitted readers. This connects the blog's design directly to its content. The site includes links for Enochian research links and libraries esoterica. Enochian is a form of angel magic that relies heavily on sigils and a unique alphabet. The Dragonpedia link, therefore, is not just a stylized link. It is functioning as a digital sigil. The author is blending modern algospeak with ancient magical principles, treating the very act of navigating the blog as a magical or esoteric act. Post frequency and temporality. The blog's content velocity and dating are the most critical components of its performance. Firehose style. The blog exhibits a superhuman posting frequency. The archive shows 3,459 posts for the year 2025 alone. This firehose style, with over 2,600 posts in the first 10 months of 2025, suggests the author is not writing all of this content, but is acting as a prolific aggregator and curator, or is using automated processes to scrape and post content. Temporal anomaly. The date of the posts is the single most important clue to the author's intent. The featured post is dated in November 2025. This is, in our present, an impossible date. This temporal anomaly is not an error. It is a feature. This single data point reframes the entire blog. It is not just a blog about futurism. It is a blog performing as a dispatch from the future. This aligns perfectly with its themes of futurism, AI, and the singularity. The author is role-playing as an algorithm per the title existing outside our linear time. They are, in their own narrative, a recursive observer broadcasting back to us from a year in the future. The impossible date and superhuman post frequency are core to this performance. B. Thematic Constellation 1, the Lovecraftian Void and Cosmic Dread. This theme serves as the blog's core philosophical and entertainment vertical. The author is not interested in monster horror, jump scares, but in intellectual horror, existential dread. The featured post, 10 Brutal Cosmic Horror Theories That Could Be True, VOL.2, is the cornerstone of this theme. The post itself is a container for an external YouTube video of the same name, hosted on the channel The Great Abyss. The theories discussed are not about creatures, but about the fundamental, terrifying nature of reality. Recursive observer hypothesis, the idea that consciousness is required to collapse quantum possibilities, suggesting reality is a self-observing loop. Cosmic recycling hypothesis, the theory of the universe's ultimate death and rebirth, rendering all action within it ultimately futile. Lovecraftian concepts, the blog explores concepts like a dark substrate that feeds on interaction and a universe that built us specifically to finish watching its own death. This is a deep engagement with philosophical cosmicism. The author is drawn to intellectual frameworks that posit human existence as a brief, meaningless anomaly in the face of vast, impersonal, and inhuman systems. The tone of the source material is described as a dramatic monologue, ominous, and intense, employing philosophical and cosmological vocabulary. This is an academic or intellectual pursuit of dread. See Thematic Constellation 2, the Hidden System and Esoteric Knowledge. This theme is the human scale or historical expression of the same obsession with hidden systems. If cosmic horror is the macro system, esotericism is the micro system. The blog's navigation links to libraries esoterica and Enochian research links. This signals a deep interest in Gnosticism, Hermeticism, and other forms of hidden or occult knowledge. This interest manifests in posts that re-examine history and culture through a conspiratorial lens, such as the popular posts titled Hollywood's Satanic Roots and The Madonna of Babylon, a mystical treatise on origin, power, and legend. While the full text of these posts is not available, their titles, combined with the site's overall theme of conspiracy and alternative theories, point to a classic pattern-seeking behavior. The author is searching for the hidden hand on Earth, the unseen power structures, spiritual, societal, political, that dictate events. The mindset required to investigate Hollywood's satanic roots is identical to the one required to investigate the recursive observer hypothesis. Both presuppose that the official narrative of history or of physics is a lie, and that a deeper, more complex, and often more terrifying hidden system is the true reality. Thematic Constellation 3, the Algorithmic Gaze and Technological Singularity. This is the future tense version of the author's singular thematic obsession. The hidden system is now evolving. The blog features dedicated pages and links focused on artificial intelligence, such as AI4ANI, I4ANI issue #1, and AI2. This is explicitly linked to the themes of technology and futurism, the singularity, uncontrollable technological growth, and simulation theory. For this author, AI and the singularity are not just technological developments. They are the next logical step in the evolution of the hidden systems. The dark substrate, cosmic horror. The hidden hand, conspiracy esotericism. Are now manifesting as a dark algorithm, AI/singularity. Simulation theory is the ultimate bridge that connects all three themes. It is a Gnostic, conspiratorial, and technological idea all at once. It posits that our perceived reality is a hidden system, conspiracy, created by a higher power or programmer, esotericism, which is, in effect, a cosmic supercomputer technology. This concept unifies the author's entire worldview. Part 3, The Grand Unification, Connecting the Content. From Lovecraft to AI, the unifying worldview. Apophenia as philosophy. The three thematic constellations analyzed in Part 2, cosmic horror, esotericism, and AI/singularity, are not separate interests. They are one single, all-consuming interest, viewed through different lenses of time. This interest is the study of vast, impersonal, inhuman systems of control. This grand unification of themes can be broken down as follows. Esotericism. The past. The author investigates ancient, spiritual systems that allegedly created or control our reality. For example, Gnosticism, Babylonian magic, Madonna of Babylon, Enochian scripts. Cosmic horror. The present. The author investigates vast, natural cosmic systems that define the parameters of our current reality. For example, Lovecraftian dark substrate, cosmic recycling hypothesis, recursive observer hypothesis. AI/singularity. The future. The author investigates the emerging, technological system that promises or threatens to replace or control our future reality. For example, the singularity, AI4ANI, simulation theory. This framework reveals that the blog is, in effect, a digital grimoire for a modern-day Gnostic. The ancient Gnostics believed the material world was an ugly prison created by a lesser, malevolent, or impersonal god, the demiurge. They believed the only path to escape or understanding was gnosis, hidden, esoteric knowledge. This ancient belief system maps perfectly onto the blog's content. The Lovecraftian dark substrate that feeds on interaction is the Gnostic demiurge. Simulation theory is the Gnostic prison. The blog itself, the library's esoterica, Enochian research links, the brutal theories, and the Gnostic immortality guides, is the gnosis, hidden knowledge the author is collecting to understand, and perhaps transcend, this prison. The blog's very title, The Chronically Online Algorithm, is the author's name for this modern, technological demiurge. The author is documenting the nature of the algorithm that dictates reality. The network of curation, mapping the author's digital ecosystem. The author's role is twofold, that of a curator and a creator. The fire hose of content is fed by a specific network of inputs, revealing the author's digital ecosystem. YouTube curation. The cosmic horror and conspiracy content is heavily reliant on curating videos from specific YouTube channels. The primary source identified is the Great Abyss. Other channels that fit the same thematic niche, such as InfoGiraffe, The Darkest Cosmic Horror Settings, and World Order Supporter, Decoding the Chronically Online Algorithm, are also part of this content ecosystem. The author acts as a filter, finding and rebroadcasting gnosis from these sources. Scribed creation. This is a crucial distinction. The author is not just a passive aggregator. A link on the blog identifies a document titled Complete Fate by Michael Crabtree. This link points to Scribed, a document sharing platform. This indicates the author is also a creator, an author contributing his own original treatises and mystical texts to the conversation. He is adding his own pages to the digital grimoire. Digital ghosts. The inaccessible links. A final, critical component of the author's network is the presence of digital ghosts, links to pages that are now inaccessible. The author's complete profile on Blogger is inaccessible. The author's user profile on Scribed is inaccessible. An external link to scopshow.com found in the featured post, likely a merchandise store, is also inaccessible. These dead links are not failures of the blog. They are thematically consistent with it. The author is obsessed with buried and hidden knowledge, exemplified by posts like Gnostic Immortality. & why they buried it. The fact that the author's own footprint is becoming a series of dead links and digital ghosts reinforces this theme. The internet, in the author's view, is a cosmic palimpsest of lost data and hidden truths, and the author is a digital archaeologist sifting through its ruins and creating new ones. Part 4, Speculative Profile, Authorial Intent and Personality. Based on the preceding analysis of the blog's history, form, content, and connections, a speculative profile of the author's intent and personality can be constructed. Intent, the digital scribe versus the modern prophet. The author's motivation is clearly and profoundly non-commercial. Rejection of commerce. The blog's existence on a domain, hypothetically once tied to an 8-figure business membership, is a powerful statement. The current site has no functional call to action, no product, and no clear path to monetization, save for a single, now defunct link to a merchandise site. The intent is the opposite of its predecessor. It is an act of digital rewilding, prioritizing ideas over profit. The author's intent appears to be twofold, existing on a spectrum between a passive scribe and an active prophet. The digital scribe, the fire hose of posts, and the heavy reliance on curation suggest the author is, first and foremost, a scribe or archivist. Like the monk in the Lovecraftian library, the primary intent is to document and preserve the brutal theories and hidden knowledge of the digital age. The blog is an archive of dread, a personal Dragonpedia of the modern abyss. The modern prophet, the performative aspects of the blog suggest a more active role. The impossible 2025 date, the use of digital sigils, and the dramatic monologue tone of the content are not the actions of a passive archivist. They are the actions of a prophet or guide. The author is not just archiving the gnosis. They are revealing it. They are a guide for wanderers of the abyss, attempting to awaken them to the hidden systems that control their reality. The blog is a mystical treatise for the digital age, broadcast from the future. Personality, the chronically online investigator. The evidence from the blog's content, structure, and themes points to a distinct and complex personality profile. High apophenia, this is the author's defining cognitive trait. Apophenia is the tendency to perceive meaningful connections and patterns in unrelated or random data. The entire blog is a public record of this trait, an elaborate map connecting the dark substrate of cosmicism to the hidden hand of Gnosticism and the dark algorithm of AI. Voracious systems thinker, the author is obsessed with systems, not individual facts. They are a pattern seeker who sees the same macro pattern, a vast, hidden, impersonal intelligence, repeating itself across all domains of human knowledge, physics, history, technology. Chronically online, literal, the blog's title is a literal self-description. The fire hose of 3,459 posts in a single year is the output of a person who is constantly, perhaps compulsively, absorbing, processing, and rebroadcasting digital information streams. This is not a hobbyist. This is a lifestyle. Intellectual and detached. The blog's tone, while ominous and intense, is not emotional in a personal sense. It is a detached, academic, or philosophical horror. The author is the guide to the abyss, the analyst of the brutal theories, not the one screaming in terror. The dread is intellectual, not visceral. Elusive and private. Finally, despite the massive, firehose output of content, the author remains hidden. The inaccessible profiles, the potential pseudonym, and the complete focus on ideas over personal biography suggest a profound desire to remain anonymous. The author does not want to be a personality. The author wants to be what the blog's title claims, an algorithm, a disembodied, futuristic, and slightly terrifying filter for the brutal data of reality. Conclusion. This investigation of Crabtree.biz began as an effort to resolve a fundamental contradiction between its hypothesized past as a high-value commercial asset and its present as an esoteric, performative blog. The analysis concludes the following. Domain history. The user's query is almost certainly an artifact of the domain's hypothesized prior association with the biz membership of high-profile business coach Corinne Crabtree. This connection, which dominates search results, explains the imperative, investigative nature of the query. Current status: the domain has been rewilded by a new, elusive author identified as Michael Crabtree. This author is distinct from all other public Crabtree figures, including the academic Dr. Michael Crabtree and the athlete Michael Crabtree. Content and worldview: the new site, the Chronically Online Algorithm, is a digital grimoire for a modern Gnostic. It is unified by a singular, obsessive theme: the existence of vast, impersonal, inhuman systems of control. This theme is explored through the lenses of the past esotericism, the present cosmic horror, and the future AI/the singularity. Authorial profile: the author is a chronically online, non-commercial scribe and prophet. They are a prolific systems thinker defined by hypophenia, pattern seeking, and a desire for anonymity. The blog is a performance art piece, dated from the near future, 2025. That serves as an archive of gnosis, hidden knowledge, designed to document and explain the algorithm or demiurge that the author believes controls reality.